become religions. So,
right. Yeah, and I'm on the Penn Jillette side of that. But the Constitution gives us all the freedom to practice our religion as we see fit, or not to practice as we see fit. And I don't like the idea that we need to have a government that would require us to practice or not to practice, or that we should force people to bake cakes for people that they disagree with, or to perform ceremonies for people that they disagree with. Everyone should have the freedom of conscience. And while I may be secular, I don't think that people should be required to perform a ceremony if they don't agree with that. And that's what's great about the United States, is that you can practice your religion freely or not practice your religion freely. And I will defend religious freedom as Commander-in-Chief, as President of the United States. I will stand the ground. And I know it's controversial for me to take these positions, being pro-life and secular. I'm kind of rare as a unicorn, but this is what I believe, and I'm going to stand my ground no matter what.
Where are you on the issue of immigration, Austin? Are you an open borders? Like we talked to John McAfee yesterday. He's an open borders libertarian. Is that where you are as well, or?
Well, there's theory and then there's practicality. As President of the United States, I'm required to uphold the law. So while I've read all the studies from the Mercatus Institute and Cato about how we can live in a borderless world, and while that does sound fantastic to me, and I do think we need to streamline our immigration policy, I will obey the law. And now, that being said, I do have wide leeway to use my powers of deportation. Will I deport violent criminals? Absolutely. But I think it's time for us to have a conversation about how we can streamline our immigration system so that we can incentivize legal immigration. Right now, it is so difficult to become an American citizen that people break the law because it takes 15, 25 years sometimes. So I want to champion a more free market. If you want to build a wall, that's Donald Trump. Go for Donald Trump. But libertarians want to tear down walls. And to me, I think that if we just streamline our immigration system, something like the Ellis Island policies that we used to have, which had very stringent security checks, very stringent disease checks. But then when you were done, you were done, and that was it. And then you could be simply naturalized, just like my ancestors were, the Petersens, when they came through Ellis Island. And I think that that's what we need to be talking about.
Wow. Okay, let's go here. Your competitors, if you will, the other guys running for the Libertarian presidential nomination, they're big interventionists, as we are. However, neither one of them
non-interventionists.
We're non-interventionists, but we're also realists, and we know what ISIS. It wasn't the United States that all of a sudden gave these guys the idea. It is the Quran, and it is the crushing, beginning in 1919 with the Sykes-Picot Treaty, that really has put them in a place to where they are fulfilling prophecy in their head. So how do we deal with this war over in the Middle East and people who are crucifying children?
Well, the first thing that I do not want to do as Commander-in-Chief is use fear to try and expand the powers of the executive branch. Now, I will never act in such a way as to endanger the national security of the American citizens, but I think it is possible for us to have security and liberty, meaning that we should respect the Fourth Amendment, we should not engage in warrantless wiretapping, and that is just how it should be. But when it comes to the national security interest of the United States, I will behave constitutionally. If there's a threat to the United States, I will speak with with the Joint Chiefs, and I will work with my military commanders in order to ensure that we follow the policy of the law. And if there needs to be military action, I will speak to Congress and ensure that we have congressional action first. That's what the Constitution says. Now, when it comes to an imminent threat